Hello, boys and girls. I'm Miss Stephanie, and I am here with the original Lucky Lion. He was Lucky Lion number 1, and I am here to read a story to you today. And the story I've selected is one of my most favorite stories. And Lucky here was very excited to be a part of reading Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel. I love this book so much. Let's get started. Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel. Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Mary Ann. Mike Mulligan was very proud of Mary Ann. He always said that she could dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. But he had never been quite sure that this was true. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had been digging together for years and years. Mike Mulligan took such good care of Mary Ann, she never grew old. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the great canals for the big boats to sail through. That is quite a privilege. You get to see my cat. Oh my goodness. Bye, Tucker. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who cut through the high mountains so that trains could go through. Yeah. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who lowered the hills and straightened the curves to make the long highways for the automobiles. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who smoothed out the ground and filled in the holes to make the landing fields for the airplanes. And it was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the deep holes for the cellars of the tall skyscrapers in the big cities. When people used to stop and watch them, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann used to dig a little faster and a little better. The more people stopped, the faster and better they dug. Some days they would keep as many as 37 trucks busy taking away the dirt they had dug. Then along came the new gasoline-powered shovels, and the new electric shovels, and the new diesel motor shovels, and took all the jobs away from the steam shovels. Oh no! Mike and Mary Ann were very sad. No steam shovels wanted. Oh no! Oh no, Lucky! All the other steam shovels were being sold for junk or left out in old gravel pits to rust and fall apart. Mike loved Mary Ann. He couldn't do that to her. Oh, see all the other ones? Oh no. He had taken such good care of her that she could still dig as much in one day as 100 men could dig in a week. At least he thought she could. But he wasn't quite sure. Everywhere they went, they got the new gas shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels had all the jobs. No one wanted Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann any more. Then one day Mike read in a newspaper that the town of Popperville was going to build a new town hall. "We are going to dig the cellar of that town hall," Mike said to Mary Ann. And off they started. They left the canals and the railroads and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore and went way out into the country. They crawled along slowly up the hills and down the hills until they came to the little town of Popperville. I love Popperville. One of the things I love about this book is the artwork. I like to pick the house that I might like to live in. Here we are. The town has come. When they got there, they found that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. I heard, he said, that you are going to build a new town hall. Mary Ann and I will dig that cellar for you in just one day. What? Said Henry B. Swap. Dig a cellar in a day? It would take 100 men at least a week to dig the cellar for our new town hall. Sure, said Mike, but Mary Ann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week, though he had never been quite sure this was true. Then he added, if we can't do it, you don't have to pay. Oh, Henry B. Swap thought this could be an easy way to at least get part of the cellar dug for nothing. So he smiled in a rather mean way and gave the job of digging the cellar of the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. Yay, they got the job. Then they started in early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along. Do you think you will finish by sundown? He asked Mike Mulligan. Sure, said Mike. If you stay and watch us, we always dig a little faster and a little better when someone is watching. So the little boy stayed to watch. Now you have to watch the sun in the story. He has one day to get it dug. Then Miss McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, the town constable, came over to see what was happening, and they all stopped to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and dug a little better. Here we go. All right, Lucky. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, the farmer and his family, coming into town for the day, and they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and dig a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher in the sky. Look at everyone who came. Clang, clang, clang! The fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought there was a fire. Then the little boy said, why don't you stay and watch? So the fire department in Popperville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children at the school across the street couldn't keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called for a long recess, and the whole school came out to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They're digging the first corners done. Look at the sun. All right. And now the girl who answers the telephone called up all the next towns of Bangerville and Bopperville and Kipperville and Copperville and told them what was happening in Popperville. All the people came over to see if Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel could dig a cellar in just one day. The more people came, the faster Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug. They would have to hurry, though. They were only halfway through, and the sun was beginning to go down. They finished the third corner, neat and square. Look at all the people coming. Never had Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had so many people watch them. Never had they dug so fast and so well. Never had the sun seemed to go down so fast. "Hurry, Mike Mulligan, hurry, hurry," shouted the little boy. "There's not much more time." Dirt was flying everywhere, and the smoke and the steam were so thick that the people hardly could see anything. But listen, bang, bang, crash, slam, louder and louder, faster and faster. Oh, they're going very fast, digging the cellar. Wow! Then suddenly it was quiet. Slowly the dirt settled down, the smoke and steam cleared away, and there was the cellar, all finished. They did it. 4 corners, neat and square, 4 walls, straight down. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann at the bottom, and the sun was just going down behind the hill. "Hooray!" shouted the people. "Hooray for Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. They have dug the cellar in just one day." Suddenly the little boy said, "Hey, how are you gonna get out?" "That's right," said Mrs. McGillicuddy to Henry B. Swap. "How's he gonna get his steam shovel out?" Henry B. Swap did not answer, but he smiled in a rather mean way. Then everybody said, "How are they going to get out?" "Hi, Mike, how are you going to get your steam shovel out?" Mike Mulligan looked around at the 4 square walls and the 4 square corners, and he said, "We've dug so well and we've dug so fast, we've forgotten a way out." Nothing like this had ever happened to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann before, and they didn't know what to do. All right. Nothing like this had ever happened before in Popperville. Everybody started talking at once, and everybody had different ideas. Everybody thought that his idea was the best. They talked and they talked and they argued and they fought till they were all worn out, and still no one knew how to get Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann out of the cellar they had dug. Then Henry B. Swap said, "The job isn't finished because Mary Ann isn't out of the cellar, so Mike Mulligan won't get paid." And he smiled again in a rather mean way. Now the little boy, who had been keeping very quiet, had another good idea. There he is. He said, "Why couldn't we leave Mary Ann in the cellar and build the new town hall above her? Let her be the furnace for the new town hall and let Mike Mulligan be the janitor. Then you wouldn't have to buy a new furnace, and we could pay Mike Mulligan for digging the cellar in just one day." What a great idea! "Why not?" said Henry B. Swap, and he smiled in a way that was not quite so mean. "Why not?" said Mrs. McGillicuddy. "Why not?" said the town constable. "Why not?" said all of the people. So they found a ladder and climbed down into the cellar to ask Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. "Why not?" said Mike Mulligan. So it was decided, and everybody was happy. They built the new town hall right over Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. It was finished before winter. Every day the little boy goes over to see Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, and Miss McGillicuddy takes him hot apple pies. As for Henry B. Swap, well, he spends most of his time in the cellar, spreading the news of the town and listening to all the stories that Mike Mulligan has to tell, and smiling in a way that isn't mean at all. There they are building it. Here it is all done. I think we see Miss McGillicuddy bringing a pie and Henry B. Swap coming to talk. Now, when you go to Popperville, be sure to go down to the cellar of the brand new town hall. They'll be there, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. Mike will be in his rocking chair, rocking, and Mary Ann beside him, warming up the buildings in the new town hall. The end. I hope you enjoyed Mike Mulligan and the steam shovel. by Virginia Lee Burton. As much as I love this story, I know Lucky likes it, and you got a special appearance by my cat, Tucker. I will see you guys soon. Bye.